So I walk out, and as soon as I get a certain distance away, the door closes and the ramp retracts. You'll also notice too that my thrusters turned off. So it turns off the thrusters, which of course saves power. Now, as I get back into range, the thrusters turn on, the door opens, and the ramp extracts so that I can get back in. Hello everyone, and welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 8. This is episode 17. Alrighty, so I spent quite a bit of time, about 3 hours as a matter of fact, recording myself decorating the Oldguy hovercraft, and this is the final result. That's what it looks like. And I was going to put the recording of that up on YouTube, but here's the thing. 3 hours is a long time, okay? And I just, I'll be honest with you guys, I just don't have time to edit a 3 hour, another 3 hour recording. It was about almost a 3 hour recording to do the build, and we edited that, and we made episode 16 out of it. But for the decoration, it just took way too long. And so here's the deal. If you guys want to see that, I have recorded the footage, and what I will do is I will post it on YouTube if you want to see it. But what you have to do is you have to let me know in the comments if you want to see that, okay? Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and move on because I really want to get moving on our Let's Play, okay? This build took way longer than I had originally planned. I don't have any regrets. I really like it. I think it looks great. The Oldguy RV turned out pretty super awesome, and I'm going to post it on the workshop so people can download it. There's a couple other tweaks I might want to do to it first before I do that, but it will be on the workshop if you're interested. But just too long for YouTube. And like I said to you guys before, normally if I'm going to do a build, I'll stream it, and I'll do several streams of that, just because it takes such a long time to do a build in this game. If you do a nice build. And I think this is a pretty nice build. It's probably the most elaborate hovercraft build that I have done to date. In fact, it is definitely the most elaborate hovercraft build that I've done to date. So, again, if you guys are interested in seeing the footage of me decorating this and setting it all up, let me know in the comments, and I will go ahead and post the footage of that. But be warned that it is a 3 hour plus episode. And I just don't have enough time, guys, in real life to edit that, and edit it down. I just don't. I'm sorry. But, I've got a full-time job. I've worked many overtime hours this week. And, just getting back to a normal schedule, starting next week, and I just don't have the time to do it. So that, that's just the way it is. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you want to see that footage. If, even one of you wants to see it, I'll go ahead and put it up on YouTube in my Empyrion Empyrion Alpha 8 build list, and I'll make it available to you if you want to see it. Okay, so but this is what it looks like. This is the end result, and I think it came together pretty nicely. All right, so what we are going to do in this episode, guys, is we are going to get back into the Let's Play. We're going to take our hovercraft, and we are going to go do some exploration. We're going to do the next phase of the Robinson Protocol, and progress in the game and keep having fun with it. Now, a couple things I want to show you. I went ahead and made an advanced constructor. I am also now max level, and I got to max level by farming desert golems in the deserts of this planet. So all these sandy areas that you see here are deserts, and the game will spawn the desert golems, and you get a ton of XP, and you get nice high level ores. You don't get large quantities per golem, but it all adds up over time, right? And so by doing that, I have actually attained maximum level in the game, and I am now level 25, which shows that right here. Okay, and so now I can go ahead basically and train or learn everything else there is to learn. I have 1,680 points, which I have not used yet. I'll go ahead and use those as I need them. So the first thing that I did with the ores that you get from those golems So we got some pretty nice ores here off the golems, including 79 sathium, is that I made an advanced constructor. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull all this stuff out of this constructor here. We're out of space. Let's put that in there, and this will go in the no, not that. That goes in the food bin. Gives us 2 more slots there. Let's put the crushed stone in there. We have 795 crushed stone that we've built up, and let's see does that give us enough room? Okay, good. And let's put the wood in here too. So I'm constantly throwing wood into this thing and, making biofuel, because I still have not found on this planet a promethium deposit, but I also haven't really, looked for one either. Okay, so let's put the advanced constructor down here. And what we're going to do is go to our multi-tool, and we're going to pick this sucker up. And we're going to replace it with the advanced constructor. Look at that, man. We are moving up in the world. We now have ourselves an advanced constructor. That is so awesome. So let's put all this stuff back in here. Yep, and that too. We'll go ahead and just store this normal constructor for the time being. All right, cool. Now, what do we got going on? We got fuel going on in here, and let's take those back. I think I'm going to leave everything else in there that's in there at the moment. We'll put the stone in here. Cool. Now, the first thing I would like to do is I would like to make myself. Oh, I can make an EVA boost in here. Wow. Okay, that's new. That's new. We never used to be able to make boosts at all in Alpha 7. Now we can. Too bad we couldn't make the heavier armor types too, but that's okay. All right, so let's make a multi-tool. Let's go ahead and actually do an EVA base too, because we could certainly use that. Now, the next thing that I'm going to be kind of jonesing for in terms of making stuff is I want to go. Let's go to hover vessel. I want to make this stuff. I want to make a drill turret for our hover vessel, and I also want to make a several drill modules, and probably even a multi-turret too, for that matter. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough resources to do all that stuff. So let's make this first. Wait a minute, hold on, stop. What did I do? I must have queued that up twice. Okay, yeah. Now we have a Tech 2 multi-tool. Very awesome. Let's put the Tech 1 in there. So we've accomplished that milestone in the game. Getting yourself a Tech 2 multi-tool is a milestone. It's not a huge one, but it's an important one nonetheless. I'd like a total of 6 of these. I don't know if I'm going to have enough resources to make actual, 6 of those, so we'll have to see how it goes. Okay, so while that's cooking up, let's go back over to the hovercraft here. I wanted to check a couple of things. I don't think I changed the texture back over on these back blocks, because I was watching the video when I was doing, some editing, and I realized I hadn't changed these back to this texture here. So let's do that. Okay, so that's fixed. Same with this spot right there too. Now that I look at it, a couple other spots that I must have missed as well. But we'll hit those too. There we go. All right, now I wanted to, as far as the mining lasers go, we'll just pick up the Gatling guns and we'll put the lasers in their place, and that should be good. When we put the attachment, though, on for the drill, the turret drill, there's a couple of options that we have. Now, I could attach the turret right to the front of the guns. That would work. The game would allow me to do that. It would be functional, but it's not very realistic kind of from a role-playing perspective. So, I was just thinking what we might do in that situation is we might make, you know, some kind of an extension for that. And the idea behind that would be something, well, I guess I have to get some blocks, don't I? Something to this effect. And keep in mind, this is, again, this is kind of for role-playing purposes. It's not, I understand the game doesn't require me to do this, but I like to, you know, things to be semi-realistic. We got a pretty good supply of fuel going there because I farmed up a whole bunch of wood off camera. Alright, so I wonder if we're going to be able to pull this off. You know, getting 6 of these. We'll see. We will see. So I had an idea that we might do something like this. If we take our tool here, and let's, okay, so let's pick that block up, and we'll pick this block up. Now what we would do is we would put these blocks in here. Alright, and these would basically extend out, I guess, to here. I'm kind of making this up as I go. I got the general idea in mind, but I don't have the specific idea in mind yet. So those would be extensions, and you know what I would imagine, in fact, you know what, to make this even somewhat cooler, let's pick these back up for a second. What if we actually made these blocks here cylinders? Okay, and we want to turn them this way. So these come out like so. And then what we would do is that we would make a platform of sorts. I think we need to come out one, whoops, we need to come out one more here. And then we would make a platform of sorts that we could then put the drill turret on. I'm not sure how big that turret is. So we're going to have to use a little bit of imagination for this, okay? So let's say that this platform here that we can put the turret on, let's grab that, by the way. Okay, how big is this thing? There we go. Okay, let's flip it like that. Alright, so just use your imagination a little bit. Remember, this is a sci-fi game. If we are still, you know, if we're in the same universe that we are in reality, we're sometime in the future. As far as the backstory of Empyrion goes, all I really know anyways, is that, you know, we're somewhere in the Andromeda galaxy. Okay, so somehow or another, sometime or another in the future, mankind has traveled to the Andromeda galaxy. And so, you know, obviously we have more technology than we have now here in the 21st century. And so the idea is that this is an extension that maybe it materializes, we'll say. And it comes out from the hovercraft and it creates like this little platform here with the drill turret on it that we can then use to actually drill down into a deposit that we find. Okay, that's the idea behind this. Now, the reality of it is that I don't want to have to, you know, rebuild this thing every single time I use this. So what I'm probably going to actually do is I'll probably just attach the turret to the front of the Gatling guns when I use it. But we're just going to kind of pretend for role-playing purposes and whatnot that this is what's actually occurring in order for us to do that. Okay? Just because that's the way my brain works. You know, I like to have some type of plausibility, we'll say, for stuff like this. Okay, so we'll keep this on here, and we're going to go actually drill out that silicon deposit. We're just going to see how well this actually works. Okay, let's head on back in here. And we have 2 more to go. And we still have, well, we have 34 Zascosium. And that's the thing probably that's using the most. I'm thinking it's looking like we're probably going to be able to go ahead and get 6 of those made up, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, the other thing I would like to do in this advanced constructor, if I can, is I would like to make a... Alright, so we're going to have to find an enhanced assault rifle kit, or enhanced rifle kit, a rifle upgrade kit, that's what I'm trying to say, in order to make that thing. So that's the way it was in, you know, before too, in Alpha 7. Alright, so we'll do that. Now the other thing I'd like to do, if we have enough resources left over after this is done, let's also make ourselves a multi-turret, because then we can use the multi-turret to take apart, you know, POIs and get, you know, resources from that, which tends to be a pretty decent way to get resources in the end, you know, mid to end game, we'll say. Okay, 1 left to go, and looks like we're going to be able to actually do it. So that's awesome. So basically, here's the thing. I want to see if the turret, how well that works, and then we'll compare that to doing some strip mining with 6 lasers. Now, obviously, I know that 6 lasers is going to be able to drill faster than 1 turret, but the problem with the 6 lasers is, well, I shouldn't call it a problem. The challenge with the 6 lasers is that we have to, you know, we have to bring the whole entire vehicle down underground to get to the deposit, and probably do like a strip mine. Whereas with this, depending upon its range and the size of the deposit, we might be able to stay on top and just, you know, mine the whole thing, you know, from the top. And in the long run, that might actually be the more efficient way to do it. I'm not really sure. So we're going to find that out. We're going to test that out on a couple different deposits, and we'll see how it goes. I think what we'll do is we'll do the mining test first. Okay, and then probably in the next episode, we'll continue the Robinson Protocol. I think that's what we're going to do. I do have one other content creator that has now started playing on this server. His name is Stock Gaming. He's a good friend of mine, and he has his own YouTube channel, and he also streams. And so, you know, he has joined me on the server, and so now we do have another player on the server, which reminds me, I need to actually create a faction. So let's do that. Let's create a Black Dogs faction. That's typically the faction that I use and have used for a long time now. There's a little history behind that, but we want to make sure, though, that our tag has a P in the end, which means, based upon the rules of this content creator server, if you have a P in the end of your name, that means you want to do a PvP with other players. Okay, if you have an E in the end of your tag, it means you only want to do PvE, and I would actually like to get into some PvP in this game. Okay, so let's grab this food, and we're going to load all this stuff up, and oh, actually our lasers should be done. Let's grab those. And we got a multi-turret, very cool, and 9 Zascosium is left over from all of that stuff, okay? So we're still, except for the Zask, we're still doing pretty good on all of the other ores. We got a pretty decent supply of all the other ores. We're kind of low on, well, we got a fair amount of sapphire too. So we're doing pretty good. We're gonna hop in here. How's our fuel situation? We need a little more fuel, and we made some up in here. So we'll go in here, we'll do manage, and pop that thing full. With the remaining fuel in here, we got a pretty decent supply of fuel in here as well. For food, we'll put our food in here. Let's 283, 500. Let's eat a couple of these, and we'll put those two food items in there. Put these blocks in here just so we have some spares. We'll put the turret in there. We'll put the lasers in there. We have our harvest module already. We have a pretty decent supply of charges left, so I think we're good, in good shape there. Okay, let's do this. Oops, wrong button. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cruise over to this silicon deposit. We got to turn our thrusters on. I set up a some automation on the hovercraft. So the way that it's designed is there's three things. There's four things. I have two sensors and a switch. The switch allows me to quickly turn the turrets on if I happen to be in the back of the craft, you know, crafting or doing stuff, and we run into going the wrong way. And we run into some drones. Okay, so I can quickly flip those on. It's just a little bit faster than using the P menu, because the P menu is at least 2 and maybe even 3 clicks depending upon where you are in the P menu. I also have a sensor that will automatically open the door and retract, or extract rather, the ramp when I leave the vessel, and then close the door and retract the ramp after I get a certain amount of distance away from it. We need to go more northish. And then when I approach the vessel, it'll open the door and extract the ramp so that I can get back in. Okay, and then I have a third, or rather a second sensor that will turn the thrusters off on the ship when I leave the ship and turn them back on when I approach the ship. But in order to get that to work, I had to use the toggle. Okay, so we've got a drone here. What we want to do is we want to make sure that our turrets are on, and our turrets should take this drone out for us. See, there they go. Nice! Ha ha ha! And we'll also get a little bit of materials from that too. Okay, so let's go into here. So this is the switch that actually activates the turrets normally. So notice that they're off, but if I flip this switch, then it turns the turrets on, and then if I flip it again, it turns them off. Okay? Now, if I approach the back of the vessel, oh, you know what? It's moving for some reason. We did take a little damage in the window too. Nope, time's up. Doggone it. Okay. Let's turn the thrusters back on for a second. Let's get on land, and then we'll lower ourselves down here. So the thrusters are the one thing that might be a little bit of a pain in the neck. We'll have to kind of just see how it goes. But the idea is, as when I approach the back, the door opens and the ramp retracts, or extracts, whatever the word is, and that's controlled by this sensor up here. Okay, so I walk out, and as soon as I get a certain distance away, the door closes and the ramp retracts. You'll also notice too that my thrusters turned off, so it turns off the thrusters, which of course saves power. Now as I get back into range, the thrusters turn on, the door opens, and the ramp extracts so that I can get back in. All right, and then I go inside here, get in the cockpit, and then I can take off on my merry way. The thing about the thrusters, though, is that because it's set to the toggle, it can, you know, if I don't do it just right, it can be a little weird. So in the long run, I don't know if I'm going to keep that setting or not. I just have to try it for a while and just see how it goes. Oh, put my helmet on. Alright, let's grab all that stuff off of this drone before it despawns. Base. Oh. You know what? I'll bet this must be a base that Stock made. That was not there the last time I played. He just started his YouTube series. I need to make sure my turrets are off too. They are, okay. Yep. Stock, I'm guessing that Stock must have started this base here. And he's got a desert golem camping him. Let's take that guy out. That's probably too why that drone was in the area. Now that I think about it. Okay, let's hop out. We will harvest this guy. We got some mag and some gold. And for some reason my hovercraft is moving forward, which it should not be doing. Since we are outside, let's also repair that window. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if my thruster setup's actually going to work. We'll have to see. Anyway, we want to head north, and we're going to test out our turret, our mining turret on this silicon deposit. And I just want to kind of see if I can get a feel for how well it's going to actually work. It's a small deposit, so we should not expect a whole lot of ore from it. So let's get pretty much just directly over it. Right about there. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. We're going to auto group, and then we want to go to harvest, and we're going to enter the drill turret. Okay, we're facing straight down. And I just want to see if the range of this turret can actually reach down and grab the silicon, or if it's not high enough. And if it's not high enough, or rather if the range is not great enough to reach down, then this isn't going to work, and we're going to have to basically do strip mining with the drill lasers. That being said, the range on these things, you know, is usually pretty significant. So let's just see what happens. And, it, you know, the other thing, too, is it depends upon how deep it is, too. Some of these can be pretty deep. I mean, the deposit's 17.5 meters down from where I currently am, and that's quite a ways down, so. Alright, let's just kind of stay right in the middle here. Okay, so we've hit the silicon. Let's just hold it still and just go right down the middle, and we'll see how far down it can go. Because the thing is, my thinking is this. If this turret has the range to reach all the way down to the bottom of the deposit, it saves us the hassle of having to strip mine to get to everything. And it's still punching, it's still getting down there. Alright, so either we have reached... No, it's still going. It's still going. Whoop. Oh, we can rock drill with this too. Okay, cool. This thing is... It still appears to be hitting down there. Now, okay, so now we're hitting crushed stone. That would suggest to me that we have gone past the deposit and now we're actually hitting stone underneath it. Yeah, that's what's happened. Okay, so this thing does have a pretty significant range. So I think we could probably mine this entire deposit from here. And if that's the case, this is not a bad way to do this, you guys, because here's the thing. Yeah, I'm going to be able to get a lot more material with 6 lasers, but I'm also going to have to bring the whole entire vehicle down there to do it. Whereas here, I can just sit right in the turret and drill straight down and get the whole deposit without having to move the vehicle at all. And, I don't know which one of those in the long run is the more efficient method, but it seems to me like this might be the better way to do it. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut the episode here. And I'm just going to stay here and mine this whole deposit out with this turret. And then the next time we come across the deposit, we'll try it with the 6 lasers. And, we'll come to a conclusion afterwards as to which way we think's ultimately the better way to do this. Alright? So thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Come and stop by and see me on Twitch. I do stream several times a week. And you can find the link to my Twitch channel in the About section of YouTube. You'll also find a link to my Discord channel. We have a big community, lots of fun, lots of good people in the Discord community. You're more than welcome to come and join up with us if you'd like to do that. We'd like to have you there. All right, so you guys take care, and I'll see you in episode 18. Bye.